I'm going to be attempting to survive 100 days in Better Minecraft. If you don't know what Better Minecraft is, it's basically normal Minecraft, but it has a ton of new features, and it's absolutely insane. I got into some intense situations and intense battles where I almost died. Better Minecraft adds a ton of new features like these beautiful landscapes and these insane dungeon bosses that are very hard to defeat. And I'm not going to lie, it was super tough. These next 100 days were going to be hard, but I was going to make sure to put my landscape on the map and make this my world. And I'm telling you now, I am definitely not ready for what was to come. So let's hope we can survive 100 days in Better Minecraft. Alright, so on day one, I already knew I was going to get hungry later on in the day, so it was time to bully these fishes until they gave me some food. I stopped bullying the fish and I went, you know what, it's time to get the essentials. I slapped up my little wooden block, I got my nice little wooden axe, and the cool thing about this mod is that when you slap up a tree with an axe, the whole tree comes down. So getting wood is so easy. And then I found this book in my inventory that said the beginning, and it said like it was a brand new experience, and it gave me these 2 books. And there was like a whole massive reward system on all these quests and these challenges that I had to do. So we'll look at that later. Because now that I had a wooden sword, it was time to go back to the fish and slap them up even more because I became more powerful. I felt bad for beating up the fish, so I went, you know what, it's time to go mining. So I went to get some stone, upgrade to the Stone Age because I'm not going to last 5 minutes with a wooden sword out in this wilderness, I'm telling you. On day 2, I had a little walk around seeing what the crack was, you know. I wanted to see the full experience of Better Minecraft, and I saw a little bear with his little cubs. He gave me a little growl, and I actually got spooked. I don't know how strong bears are, but I tell you what, I'm not scared of this zombie, and, you know, I taught that zombie a lesson. I then landed on this island, and I saw this thing that said banana bundle. I slapped it up, and this banana, like, spider came out. I had no idea what that was about, but hey, I got my bananas, so I wasn't complaining. I'll be eating them later. After traveling around a little bit more, it was getting dark, and, you know, I didn't really know what to do because I didn't have a bed. And I saw this little thing that was, like, creeping up and down in the ground. I wasn't going to mess with that. That thing was probably going to one-shot me if I wasn't careful. So I started walking around a little bit more, and I saw a whole family of monkeys. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to chill here for the night. On day 3, I went to greet the monkeys. Look at them there, all their little banana bunches. And I think they were curious on what I was doing. But these were a little lively bunch. I mean, they were climbing up trees. They were making all their little noises. I mean, I had my bananas as well. Look at this little monkey right here, the little chimpanzee. He was eating his banana and, you know, I think he liked it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be nice to the monkeys. I'll give them my little banana and see what they think about it. The monkey took it in their hands. I think they accepted me to be one of them. So giving my bananas to that little chimpanzee, I went, you know what, it's time to go mine some coal because I can't see what I'm mining down here. So I basically spent most of the day just mining and smelting all my items, and I finally upgraded to iron. Made some little tools and stuff like that, you know, the essentials, and with the armor that I had left over, I made some armor. Did I say armor that I had left over? I mean iron that I had left over. I only managed to make a helmet and a chest piece though. You know, I got sick and tired of mining, so I went, you know what, it's time to explore even more. I found like this deep underground little like trap place, and it was actually a trap. There was just a bunch of chests with diamonds and enchanted books in it, and there was even a golden apple. You know, I was hitting the jackpot with this stuff, and a fire dragon egg. I got my own little pet dragon. I just need to figure out how to hatch it. After looting that place right where the monkeys were, I decided to leave, and then this happened. Yeah, that thing creeped up on me. You know, I have short-term memory loss. I forgot that thing was even there, and it almost killed me. You know, I'm telling you now, thank God I had iron armor. And then I found this weird, like, base. There was no one really here, and then I suddenly got hit by nothing. I don't even know what it was. And then I realized that I think it was a texture glitch, or that's just how it was. These things were invisible, and they almost killed me because I just couldn't see what was going on. And before you ask, yeah, I have glasses on. I just couldn't see him, alright? And I know damn well that you can't see him. So I decided to go all the way down, and instead of going straight through, I went from the top and then went under. And I just built all around me so they couldn't shoot me, and then I just got the chest from underneath. I had some nice ender pearls, a map, and a power 1 bow. So I think it was a success because, you know, I didn't die. After I raided that place, I then checked that map, and I didn't really understand it because I was quite far away, so we'll check that out later. But then I found this village, my first little village. I was actually happy because I was like, you know what? Food. I had a little walk around and I saw this guard bouncing up and down, and that guard actually looked really cool. And then I looked over and there was an island golem just chilling. I then helped myself to walk into people's houses because that's just what you do. And this place looked really cool. I had a blast furnace and everything so I could smelt my stuff quicker. I was like, you know what? I'm going to live here. So I decided to make a little camp right here. And then I marked it down on the map because, you know, knowing me, being directionally challenged, I wasn't going to find this base again. I then walked out and there was a zombie that was greeting me right outside my house, but I made short work of it with this villager. And then the guards just went on a rampage defending their village, and, you know, it was getting dangerous. There was small little zombies coming up on me, you know, God knows what that was, but, you know, I wasn't messing with that. So I hid in the house with the villager till the next day. I wasn't messing with that. Day 6, all I could think about was that I was hungry, so I became the sheep slayer. Yeah, you know what? I don't feel pity for these sheep. They think they can hide from me up there. They can't hide from nothing. I'm the sheep slayer. Easy peasy, give me your meat. I then looked at my map and I saw like a little pillager outpost. I had no idea what it was, so we were going to go check that out because it looked cool. I was getting closer to the pillager outpost and I came across this. I just got an achievement that said jump. I had no idea what this was, so tell me in the comments. I wasn't going to jump in there, I was going to die. But let me tell you something. Look at this. Wheat for days. It wasn't a pillager outpost, it was a wheat outpost. And I saw this massive windmill, but I didn't really care about that windmill because look at all this wheat. I have bread for a lifetime. That's if I survive this fight. Because I was getting so much wheat, it was becoming nighttime, so I went, you know what, I attacked that first pillager, knocked him out and showed him who's boss, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to fight in the nighttime. So I made myself a crafting table, and for all those sheep that I killed, I had enough for a bed, so it was time to sleep for day 7, and I'd attack him in the daytime. As promised, I took full charge into day 7 into their little pillager camp, but yeah, they pushed me back a little bit because their bows were strong and they had numbers. And I also got attacked by this zombie villager. And look at that damage. I was not expecting this zombie villager to do that much damage. So I had to retreat instantly and heal up before I could fight that zombie villager again. I went back and fought the villager again and I domed him. See you later, villager. And I progressed to take on these little pillagers because their outpost was going to be mine. Because I bet you they had some juicy loot in there. You know, I was just slapping them up and showing them who's boss. And you know what? I was eating their bread while I was doing it. I managed to get inside and it was pitch black. There was creepers in there. There was pillagers up top. There was wizards in there as well. So I just bowed them from the front. But that wasn't the best approach. So I went, you know what? It's time to build up and then look down. Because I guaranteed that most of the loot is up top. And it was. I was getting iron. I was getting diamond. I was getting emeralds. I was getting everything. Enchanted leggings, chest pieces, helmets. It was the play. And I made myself some golden apples as well. I then went underneath and I found that this whole place was rigged with TNT. So, you know, there was traps in there. So I had to be really careful. I dug a little tunnel and I took out this wizard and I made a little hole for myself. So if they were going to come in, I could funnel them. Because I had no idea how many people were in there. I popped the golden apple for, you know, not really any reason. I got a little bit scared because I got poisoned and, you know, I was just getting hit. I don't really do well under pressure in situations, alright. But I managed to clear the wizard out and everything else, and there was one more wizard in there, and this is where things got spicy. I almost died. Let me tell you, look at this. He hit me twice with his little potion thing, and, you know, I was full on hunger. And, yeah, I just had to let it take the wheel. Look at this. 5 seconds left. Look at my HP. Half a heart. Boom. I got an extra heart. Boom. Look at that. Half a heart. I could have died. After clearing all those people out, I saw this little, like, stone, like, underground stairwell. I had no idea what this was, so I was pretty sure it was a dungeon and I was going to die. So I took it quite slowly and had a little look around. Made sure I wasn't going to die, and it was a villager, like, underground outpost. Like, this thing was insane. There was iron golems, there was like libraries, people sleeping. So I went into their dorms and stole their melons and their potatoes because that's just what I do. But they had a whole massive underground base. I was like, you know what, I'm finished searching that, let's go back up. But it was night time, and the first thing I got greeted with was an arrow to the face. So I went, you know what, I'm going to sleep there. I then woke up the next morning and had a little look around, and I saw some piggies, and these piggies were mine. You guarantee I slapped them all up, and their meat was all going to go in my pocket. I then carried on adventuring forward, and I saw like this weird, like, I don't know, like, I don't even know what to describe this place, like a little mushroom. But I got the achievement Sweet Dreams. There was a bunch of cow people riding on cows. I thought they were friendly, but then I heard their little bow came out, and then this little man rushed me, and I was like, you know what? These piggies ain't friendly. And they didn't take too long to go down, so yeah, it was quite easy to be fair. But they dropped like suicide potions, so I had to be careful of that. So for the rest of the day 9, I just sat there and cleared out the whole village of these piglin brutes. Because let me tell you, there was loads. There was spawners everywhere. I was looting the place. I had to make sure that these little piglins didn't like creep up on me. But they had some decent loot. Not the best loot in the world. Had a couple of golds and a couple of emeralds. And I took their smithing table because I didn't have one. And yeah, it was a pretty successful little raid. After finishing those piglins, I woke up on day 10 and I saw myself a ship. But before I could get to the ship, there was more piglins that spawned, so I had to take those little piglin brutes out. And they weren't a problem, they didn't really cause me too much havoc. But then I realised how hard they actually hit, and I actually got a bit spooked. So I decided to cook all my pig meat and, you know, chill out for a minute to recatch my breath to figure out how I'm going to take this pirate ship out. I swam over to the nearby island just in front of the pirate ship, and I got a nice little achievement. You are a pirate. You know, I felt like a pirate. You know, I was about to siege this pirate ship. But there was archers literally over the whole entire ship. So I made myself a nice little barricade, and I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? It took me a while to think, and you know, the day was getting slim, so I made my move. I dug underneath the ship because I thought that was the best move because all the enemies were up top. So maybe I could dig a little hole and then just kind of like bash them. So that's exactly what I did. It was quite effective. We were getting there, and you know, I was taking out a lot of them. But I couldn't really see what was going on, so I waited till the next day to go up top to take out those pillagers. And you know what? They weren't doing that much damage as I thought, you know. There was just a lot of them, and they stood still, which was nice and easy. They didn't really move around too much, so yeah, it wasn't actually that bad. I was free to loot the ship. I looked around, there was a nice iron boots that had some good feather falling, a lot of gold and some iron, you know. It was looking good. And I had these enchanted chest pieces, some books and some emeralds. It was quite successful, you know. I wasn't complaining. But if I was to become a pirate, I have to be a pirate. Everything was finished on this ship, so I decided to burn it. If I wasn't going to have this pirate ship, no one was going to have it. I found this new village on day 12, and I kind of just like ran around and just had a little look. I didn't really do anything on day 12, so kind of going to skip it. On day 13, I had a little roam around, and these boys came up on me again. Yeah, if you don't know what I mean, these little invisible archers came up on me again. Yeah, they wouldn't leave me alone. And that meant if there's invisible archers nearby, that means it's one of those bases again. So you know the drill. We're going to go in. We're going to go in absolutely insane mode. I'm going to eat my pork chop. And we're going to go full frontal in. You know, I wasn't taking no prisoners. You know, I had enchanted armor. You know, I had a diamond sword. You know, these archers didn't even do that much damage to me. They were just invisible, which was the problem. And sometimes when I, like, tried to swing my sword, it didn't connect. So that was a problem. There was zombies up there as well, but, you know, I didn't care. I knocked them out of the way. But what I did care about was this creeper. Oh! Why is there a creeper up here? Get out of it, boy. What are you even doing here, huh? Sitting there up on your own. Yeah, the loot was kind of underwhelming. You know, I almost died for, you know, not the best loot. So I took the diamond, and because there was leftover iron here, I thought, you know what? Why not I make an iron shield? And I repaired some of my iron chest pieces, you know, just because. You know, why not? Let's just do it. Then on day 14, I went back to the camp because I didn't explore the whole place. I forgot the bottom side of it. So, you know, I had infinite bread, so, you know, I was never going to die. And I was slapping up all these little skelly boys, and they were no match for me, let me tell you. I was slapping them up. There was some nice gold and, you know, a power 1 bow, but I already had that. You know, it was kind of just the same old stuff. I found a map, though, which was good. I didn't have a map, so I was going to take that, and then I took the rest of the gold and the iron, and, yeah, you know, it was quite successful. You know, I got out alive, and that, you know, that's all that matters. As long as you get out alive, that's all that matters. I ventured on a little bit more, and I found this place, and the first thing that popped into my mind, even though it's day 15, was this place needs to be where my base is. Like, just look at the color of the grass. You know, even this goblin trader was like, yo, give me your stuff, let's build a base. So that's exactly what I did. You know what? I said it's time to build a base. So I made some chests, you know, got the all essentials out, and, you know, put most of my junk into this large chest while I tried to gather all the materials. I needed a diamond pickaxe, and I tell you what, I'm glad I did, because there's a lot of landscaping, there's a lot that goes into making this base, and it took me most of the day trying to landscape this place. Then day 16 to 18, it was wood chopping time. I needed loads of wood for my base. But the good thing about Better Minecraft is that it would have took a lot longer, but obviously you can cut the trees down in one hit, so that was great. Apart from some of the big trees that took multiple hits, but I was getting wood like no man's business. But the problem was with me, being the designer I am, I didn't know which wood I wanted, so, you know, that's why it took me a little bit longer, because I was just picking between wood, because I didn't want it all to be one color. After my nap from day 19 to 21, I just tried to gather as much stone as I possibly could, because I needed a lot of stone for my base as well. This is going to be quite a big project. Then on day 22, I made some minor adjustments to the base just to make sure it was all nice and clean and, you know, open, so I didn't have any space issues when building my base. I went off and had a little adventure because, you know, I was hard at work for a few days, so, you know, I wanted to have somewhat of a little adventure. And I found this villager that was a gatekeeper. And if I gave him 8 emeralds, he'd give me a zeal lighter. And if he wanted a book, he'd give me a blue journal. I had no idea what this was, so I ran all the way back to my base to get myself a book, because I know I had a book. And I wanted to see what this blue book was about. It was very interesting, you know. And while I remembered, I was going to go do it. I got the blue journal and I right-clicked on it, and it put it in my inventory. And basically it was just like a bunch of information about portals. So I could potentially make like 2 different portals other than like the Nether portal. Then on day 24 to 26, yep, more wood chopping. You know me, I just couldn't decide which wood color I wanted or what style I wanted. So yeah, it took me a while. I then got sidetracked yet again, and I found like this creepy villager at the back. He didn't really look friendly, I'll be honest, in like this dark house. Even the crows didn't like him. He was shooting at me for no reason, but I was going to take anything he was trying to throw at me. I was going to let the crows do the business, but then, you know, I finished him off, slapped him up, and then I went in his base to see what was going on, because he might have some good stuff. I got in his base, and he had a little friend there as well. He didn't tell me he had friends, and I don't know what he was holding, like a croissant or something. And there was a cauldron in there, and I don't know what it was filled with. Then on day 27, I found an even bigger ship. This was a bad boy ship, let me tell you. It wasn't like one of those little shrinky-dink ones. There was also another shrinky-dink ship over there, so we had to take out both of these ships. And I'm sorry, I know you maybe want to see the base building, but I carry on getting sidetracked, alright? One thing you should know about me, I'm easily distracted. And there was also a blood moon as well. Just looking at that blood moon sign got me scared, because it just reminded me of my last 100 days in the zombie apocalypse, which you should totally check out, by the way. I carried on digging underground to continue my assault on the ship, and there was Vindicators. Let me tell you something about Vindicators. You know, no, I won't even tell you about the Vindicators. You have a look at yourself. I have full enchanted iron armor, and these things hit me. Look at that damage! I had to be careful. If 2 of them hit me, I'd be dead. So I had to keep my distance. You know, I couldn't just charge in there. So I did a strategic approach and almost let one out and died, which was, you know, not the best option. But, you know, I managed to slowly but surely make my way to the spawner, and I destroyed it. And all that's left was to loot that chest. And I had a little look-sees in there, and yeah, it wasn't the best. So then I just went on top of the ship and took out the rest of the pillagers and claimed the ship for myself. And of course, I had to burn it. You know, it's the pirate way. I had to burn it. But I bet you thought that was the big ship. No, That was the shrinky dink. I saw a little entrance at the back. There was like a little stairwell, so that's where I was going to take my assault. But there was a bunch of skeletons on dolphins for some reason. Yeah, you heard me right. There was like 2 spawners like underneath the ship. And there was like this weird circle thing at the back there, that if you saw that. But yeah, it didn't take me too long, you know, just run around and, you know, kind of dodge the skeletons while destroying their spawners. And they couldn't really get me anyway, so I just kind of ignored them afterwards, you know, slapped them up a little bit, and then continued my assault on the ship. You know, nothing was going to stop me from assaulting this ship. Well, when I got up on the ship, there was a bunch of beds on the left and right, so they couldn't really get me, so I was actually quite lucky. So my whole entire plan was just to mine in the middle of, like, this wooden pillar, so they just couldn't kill me, and, you know, it was becoming the best effect that, you know, I could possibly get. Until I messed up the build and they charged me and I almost died. You know what the funny thing is? If that little block up top wasn't there, they would have jumped through and they probably would have just like choke slammed me into the water. But luck was on my side. I continued my assault. I destroyed the spawners and I heard a noise underneath. Look how many skeletons are underneath that ship. After defeating those skeletons, there was a bunch of barrels in like the back of the ship with all these melons and, you know, more food. But, you know, I didn't need any more food. Apart from that, there wasn't really anything in there. I continued my assault even more and destroyed the spawner, and that skeleton got a little bit angry at me, so I put him out of his misery and decided to yeet skeet him. I went, you know what? Enough fooling around, it's time to go to the top and defeat the skeletons on my terms. But I figured something out. When the skeletons hit each other, they actually attack each other, so that kind of came to my advantage. They were too busy attacking each other, so yeah, I just took them out because they didn't move either. They just sat still, so it actually worked out in my favor. And also let me know if you could actually see anything, because I couldn't. There was like a back bit of the ship, and there was like a little skeleton in there, and there was just a bunch of chests and bookcases. It seemed like it was like the captain's quarters, maybe. There was a Pearson 3 enchantment book, which I actually wanted. I can't talk. And of course, at the end, I had to burn the ship. Then day 29, after defeating 2 pirate ships solo, I went, you know what, it's time to make an enchantment table, just because I would probably forget if I didn't do it. So I slapped some bookshelves together, and yeah. So I figured something out. If you stack 4 blocks on the crafting table, you make like a different type of like wood. And then if you strip that wood back with an axe, it becomes stripped wood, which gives it a whole new color. And I love this color. But the only problem is I had to strip it and then mine it again in order to get the block. So, yeah, day 29, that's basically all I did. Then day 30 was the foundation time. I'm not going to lie, not the best builder in the world. I did mess up the maths of it, so I did have to redo it a few times. So I'm not going to show you the whole entire product. I'll just kind of show you towards the end or the process. And yeah, that was the foundation. I think it looked pretty good. You know, I'll show you bits and pieces of what I'm doing, but, you know, I don't want to show you 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes to an hour of unedited footage of me building. So, you know, I was slowly but surely getting there. I realized along the way as well, I didn't have enough materials, so I did also have to go out and, you know, chop some more wood and get some more stone and all that jazz, because, you know, I definitely underestimated how much materials I'd actually need for this base. But it was looking good. You know, the bottom foundation was done, but, you know, it was getting there. But I needed one more thing. I needed terracotta. And, yeah, terracottas is somewhat kind of difficult to find. You have to either go in, like, the Badlands or kind of, you know, get lucky that it's in, like, some weird place and you can just mine it. But before I went on my adventure to get terracotta, I found out that you could make waystones. And, yeah, the thing that you need is something purple to make purple dye. And I found violets. So you put the violets into the crafting table and you can make purple dye. I had emeralds, I just needed ender pearls. And obviously I had obsidian, so I could make myself a warp stone. Which basically I could kind of teleport to other waystones once I discover them. Day 38, I went over to that smoke that was near my base, and it was actually a pillager camp outpost. And, yeah, so, there's only one thing to do. Snipe them up like Katniss Everdeen. You know, I swear I didn't even miss a shot. These pillagers didn't even know what was going on. It was like hell was raining down on them, and they had no idea what to do. They were just sitting ducks. I then whipped out my sword and started bashing them up, and I got an achievement called People Are Strange. And the loot was decent, you know, it wasn't that bad, but they came in packs. They didn't like me being in their tents, you know, there was like 10 of them. You know, they didn't like what was ever in those chests, they didn't want me to see them. So they were like, just get out my camp, they didn't want me in there. So I just brung it to them. You know, they didn't have a single chance. Their little crossbows just like dinked off my armor. And I accidentally hit this raccoon as well. So, yeah, the raccoon turned on me. And I felt bad. I had to slap him up. You know, I'm sorry, little raccoon. You know, rest in peace, raccoon, in the comments. You know, it would mean a lot, to be honest. And then I took out the last pillager. And, you know, I felt good. I was like, easy. You know, I could actually take it. And then this Vindicator rushed out. That man was going to destroy my whole entire life. But lucky there was coal blocks there and I could just bow him from afar. And then I found, on the tents, blue terracotta. You know, the luck on that. I didn't even know that terracotta was on these tents. But the best thing was is that the tents were everywhere. So for the whole day, I just ran around in the camps, slapping up 20, 30 pillagers and just taking all the terracotta and loot from their tents. Sometimes it got intense, but, you know, it wasn't too bad. I then found like this pillar. I had trouble. I had trouble getting up, but yeah, I finally got up, and lo and behold, I found a waystone. So that means that if I made a waystone at my base, I could teleport here whenever I wanted. I just needed to find more waystones around the map. I looked in the chest and I found another enchantment book with feather falling, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I continued to mine the blue terracotta for basically like the rest of the time that I was there. Then on day 40, I needed some ender pearls, and lucky for me, there were some endermen that spawned somewhat near me. So in order for me to make a waystone, I need ender pearls. So I went around searching for, you know, as many endermen as I could at the time. And yeah, I slapped them up, and hopefully they dropped their ender pearls for me to steal them. And I basically did that for most of the day, and, you know, before I knew it, it was the end of day 40. So I just went into one of the random tents of the pillagers and took a nap. Then on day 41, I got all the way back to my base and started putting that terracotta down. And yeah, it didn't really look like blue, it was more of a purple. But you know what, I still like the color. And yeah, I didn't have enough materials, so yet again I had to go back and mine and get more terracotta and get more wood. So I'm not going to bore you with that. It took me, you know, quite a while to finish this base, but, you know, I ended up finishing it. So instead of showing you the process, I'm going to just show you the final product. Look at that! Day 55, the Japanese base is done. I got like bamboo sticks. I got like cherry blossom trees. You know, I got a nice little gate going around. I got like all these little furnaces, these nice little smooth sandstone stairs making a window. You know, this place looked good. Let me show you the inside. We got the nice little downstairs bit, looking all nice and fresh with the enchantment table and all that jazz. Looking good with the lanterns up top. We got a nice little fireplace and a luxury bed. You know what? I was happy with myself. I might have looked at a tutorial, but it was looking good, alright? I'm not a master builder, but I am definitely happy with this base. Day 56 all the way to day 60, I went down into the Better Minecraft caves. These caves were absolutely awesome. They were massive. And I was only down here with two goals. Finding lapis for an enchantment and finding loads of diamonds, because I'm on day 56 and I only have iron armor. You know, what am I, a peasant? So I went searching around in this lava-infested canal and I found myself some diamonds. So I made my way over there very slowly, because the last thing I want is to burn in this cave, and that'd be the end. So I was very slow making my way down there, and lo and behold, there was diamonds, but there was only one. So I had to continue my search to try and coat myself in full diamond armor. Lucky for me, as I got out, I turned to my left and I found more diamonds. And it was so much better. I hit the jackpot on this one. There was loads of diamonds for me to mine. It was actually looking good. I might be able to coat myself in full diamond armor if I carry on. And Better Minecraft was definitely showing how cool these caves were. So after going on my search, I headed back very carefully back to base. I got some diamonds and some lapis, and I got what I needed, so I left. I got back home and it was night time, so I ended up going to Sleepy Doodle. And from day 61, I just made some gold ingots because I had 32 apples and they needed to be golden apples. And then for the rest of day 64, I went mining again because I didn't have enough diamonds. I wanted more. So I was literally just going around trying to find diamonds, and if I found some lapis, I'd get that as well. And I was actually getting quite lucky. Like, I was finding quite a lot of diamonds, and then I found this epic cave. Look at this. With the lava below and all those like tree and all those like little leaves hanging from the top. It was cool. I didn't find any diamonds in this place, but Better Minecraft was definitely kind of showing with the texture packs on how cool these caves were. There was even like an underground like railway place as well, and yeah, like a little mine shaft. They had all these chests around, but I thought they were gonna blow up. I'll be honest. I thought they were rigged with explosives. Sitting in that minecart, I thought I was gonna open it, and that would trigger like another minecart with TNT, and it would just fly down and blow me up. I mean, it even had a bomb in it. You know, what chest has a bomb? I was even getting lucky as well with the diamonds. I found deep slate diamonds, which were really cool. And yeah, I ended up having 18 diamonds. So that's more than enough to make diamond armor, even with the diamonds that I had. So I made some diamond armor, made a diamond shield, and job was a good one. On day 66, I just sat there and mined a bunch of coal to get some XP because I was only experienced level 27 and I needed level 30 enchants for my armor. I put my diamond chest piece in there and I managed to get a protection 4, which isn't that bad. It was alright. I only got protection 4. Then I did my leggings and then I got another protection 4 as well. On top of that, I got unbreaking 3, which isn't that bad either. Then for my diamond helmet, I got unbreaking 3, fire protection 4, and respiration 3. And then I got a really poopy enchant on my boots as well, so I just had to stick feather falling on my boots. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad. And the reason it took so long as well is because I just had to carry on getting the enchantment levels as well. And from day 71 to 77, it was Nether time. To the Nether, fully decked out in diamond armor, and I was willing to take on any challenge that was there. I even saw, like, this fire, like, squid, octopus thing that was floating around, and I didn't know that if that was friendly or not, but, yeah, it looked scary. And I did what anyone else would do when they're in the Nether, is that mine some quartz for that experience, baby. We love it. I was making sure I was going to get plenty of this. But the Nether was actually really cool. I decided to get like these magma blocks as well because I wanted it for my fire dragon. Like I make a little cave for him. I think it would look really cool. Then I encountered these little piglin boys, and yeah, they weren't friendly because I didn't have like a gold helmet on or anything like that. So yeah, they wanted to fight, but they weren't too hard, and I decked them easily. So I continued on my adventure. Oh yeah, I also forgot I enchanted my diamond sword as well. I forgot to tell you that. I made a new one and enchanted it. I got Smite 4, Fire Aspect 2, Unbreaking 3, and Sweeping Edge 3. And this sword was... this sword was nice, let me tell ya. Then I came across this zombie pig house. Wasn't anything big, had a chest in it, and I just managed just to take the gold, but it was kind of a cool place. I was roaming around a lot, and I found like this other like temple that was in the lava. I made my way over there because obviously I was interested in seeing what it was. But yeah, I definitely didn't want to fall in there and die, but I thought there was going to be some pretty good loot because I actually haven't seen this before. I had some golden apples, some ghast tears, and just kind of like some other little general items. Had a nice little progile protection one, but it wasn't really that good. But it had a warp fungus on a stick. I don't know, you could use those to ride those little creatures that sit on the lava. And then I found it. A terrible fortress. I found myself a nice little fortress. And there's one thing that I go to the fortress for, and that's blaze rods, because I needed to get some blaze powder. So I just roamed around and tried to find myself as many blazes as I could. I took out the wither skeletons because I was going to need quite a lot of blaze rods if I wanted to, yeah, to find that ender portal. But lucky for me, there wasn't quite a lot of random spawns for the blazes, and then I also ended up finding a blaze spawner as well. So I just sat there and mined that until I got more than enough blaze rods. So yeah, it was a quite successful run if you ask me. These blazes didn't even have a chance against my diamond sword. Their blaze rods were mine. Then on day 77, I went all the way back at night time and I went to sleep. Then on day 78, I put all my junk in that I didn't need that I got from the Nether, and I also made myself a warp stone. And then you know what the warp stone does? Makes you a waystone. And the thing that I figured out as well, there's loads of waystones in the Nether. So instead of running all the way back to try and find my Nether portal, I could just warp home if I found myself a waystone in there. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. At least I know I could basically go wherever I wanted when I find a waystone. So the only thing I got to do now is basically just find one in the Nether. So let's hope I can find one. Remember those magna blocks I got? Yeah, I decided to make a nice little, like a little den thing for my dragon. I didn't really know what I was going for, but it looked kind of cool. And yeah, I placed it down hoping it would hatch. And I'm pretty sure you need fire around it. So I placed some fire down and, you know, let's just see what happens. If it doesn't work, you guys will probably tell me why or what I did wrong. And in all of day 79, I just sat there and just did a bunch of fishing. You know, with the little goblin boy. We sat there and had a nice little day. Day 80. Let me tell you something about day 80, alright? I don't even know what this base was. I don't know what it was called. But I got an achievement called We All Live Together. And I'm telling you, this place was filled with zombies. Look at this. One zombie called out that I was here, and the whole massive parade came down. They were like jumping off skyscrapers into the water coming after me. There was loads of them. And let me tell you something. I've never been so happy in my whole entire Minecraft playthroughs, or even especially in 100 days, to have feather falling boots. Like, look how much damage they were doing. Just look how many they were. I was like, you know what? I can't handle this. They're slowly pushing me off. I felt like a pirate walking the plank. So I was like, I can't. I just turned around, dropped. I could have dropped in the water, but I didn't. So I feel like I still would have survived maybe, but I took a lot of damage. It then became slowly nighttime, and I just went up to the top and just slapped up all the skeletons and all the zombies that were up there. And I ended up clearing the place out. I'm telling you now, it had some really good stuff, but nothing that I really needed at like the point that I was at day 80. If I found this at day 30, I would have been having like a heart attack. Like, there was a lot of good stuff in here that I needed back, you know, in like day 30, but I'm pretty sure I probably wouldn't even be able to get there. From day 81 to 86, I ended up going back into the Nether and exploring it a little bit more. And I found myself a Nether dragon egg. So I'm definitely going to be keeping that. I'm going to have like a massive collection of dragons. I'm going to be like the Dragon Knight Master. And then just in case I needed more blaze rods, I found another blaze spawner and collected a few more little blaze rods to get some more blaze powder. And then I started running around trying to find some endermen, because there was one thing I needed. It was ender pearls if I was going to find this end portal. I managed to craft 13 eyes of enders, so hopefully that should be enough for me to find the end portal. So I ran all the way outside, chucked my first one, and it led me in the direction. And that was the way it was telling me to go. So I went, you know what? Let's just run down that way for a little bit and then chuck one later on and see where it lands. Let's find this end portal. I chucked another one and it led me a little bit to the right, so that's where I was going to follow. Unlucky though, it did break, but I still had 12. So I was hoping that when I next chucked it wasn't going to break. I ran further on and it led me the complete kind of opposite way, so I knew I was close. I then ran all the way up and it pushed me back even further. So it was definitely in like this square region. I was definitely somewhere close to it. I didn't want to throw another one because it was probably going to break. But I threw another one. I didn't actually think I chucked another one. So yeah, I chucked another one, I guess. And then I ran a little bit further on and I decided to dig down. And lo and behold, on my first try of digging down, I ended up finding it. And I got the achievement I Spy. And you know what? It was cool down here. I went down a massive staircase and then I found it. Chucked down the little silverfish spawner. I tell you, this 100 days I can't talk. And I put all the eyes of Ender down and I created it. The end portal. There's only one thing left to do, and that was to go down there and take down the Ender Dragon. I spawned on this little platform just below it, so all that was left to do is build up. and attack it in full force. You know how Ender Dragon fights go. You run around, you shoot the little floaty little squares on top of the towers that the Ender Dragon wants, and then he comes down and you just slap him up. I mean, I was cat to 70, you know, I wasn't really missing that many shots. So yeah, the fight was going well at the moment. But I bet you're noticing something. The textures are gone. Yeah, I had very hard time actually seeing the Ender Dragon in the textures. It was basically pitch black. Like, I couldn't see anything, and it was quite, like, laggy. So I didn't want anything slowing me down or anything lagging that would potentially kill me. So I just turned the texture packs off while I was in the end. So I hope you guys don't mind that, but yeah, that's what needed to be done. While he was doing his little flickety-dooey, I was just sitting there slapping him up, showing the Ender Dragon who was boss. And I was actually doing a lot of damage to him. You know, I was taking him to town pretty quickly. But you know what? I wasn't going to finish on that note. I didn't want to kill him with my sword. There was only one way to kill this Ender Dragon. Double 360, and I ended the dragon. Look at that. Double 360 shot, back-to-back hits. And I managed to get an End Dragon egg. So I have my own little Ender Dragon as well. So that's 3 dragons I have now. So that's going to be cool. And then I chucked my little Ender Pearl into the end and got the remote gateway achievement. And all I had to do was just make a nice little hut and farm a bunch of Endermen to get some Ender Pearls so I could travel around. Because I needed to find an Elytra. Yep, you're seeing that right. It took all the way to day 98. And you're going to see why. I found myself at End City, and I got excited that I was going to find myself an Elytra, because there is a chance that an Elytra will spawn in a chest, because there wasn't a ship here. But this was insane. I accidentally hit one of those little square things, so it had all my armor. So I just tried to knock it back with the bow, because I did not want that thing hitting me. And yes, you are seeing that right. My chest piece was only at 5%. I was getting absolutely destroyed by these shulkers. There was just so many of them. I just couldn't keep up. They carried on making me levitate. I tried to use the Ender Pearls to like shoot myself back down, but it just wasn't enough. But I managed to go up to the top and get myself some shulker boxes, and I tried to take out as many shulkers as I could around me once I took the spawner out. But because I had loads of loot, I put one of the boxes down and stored all my junk in there because I just didn't have enough space. I then found like this blue underground square, and yes, the shulkers broke my chest piece, so I didn't have a chest piece. So I was actually in quite a lot of danger. I needed to find myself a diamond chest piece. So I took out this random spawner, and the problem was, because I didn't have a chest piece, these things actually did quite a lot of damage. So I needed to be quite careful. And if I looked at an Enderman down here, that thing would have wrecked me and took me to town. So I had to be extra careful. I managed to defeat them and take them all out, and I got an Ender Pearl and some gold, and then I found a diamond chest piece. Yes, it was cursed, but I needed any protection I could get at this point until I found a better one. So I got my other shulker box down and put the rest of my junk in there just so I had some space. And then I found myself a waystone. That's big. Now I can teleport home whenever I want. Just like that. It was some cool stuff. I checked on my dragon. It didn't spawn. You guys are going to tell me exactly what I did wrong. I'm dreading the comment section. And then I repaired the rest of my diamond armor because it was all going to break. So that waystone came in absolutely clutch. I went back into the end from the waystone and I traveled around a little bit. And I found a ruined citadel. I actually didn't know what this was, so I wanted to explore it. It was filled with bugs. And they all rushed me, and I actually got scared. So I threw my Ender Pearl down and went up to this top bit, and there was like an arena down there. And I just wanted to be really careful. And look at this thing. Look how much damage that thing did. You know, let me tell you something. Good thing I got out of there and went very slowly, but good thing I repaired my armor. That would have destroyed my armor and probably killed me in one shot if I didn't go and repair. I was not strong enough to fight that, so I left. And I ended up finding a totem of Void Undying. So it's basically like the normal totems, but if you fall in the void, you stay alive. And then this monstrosity happened. Like, I felt like I was Vegeta, like, training in, like, a hyperbolic time chamber or in Bulma's capsule corp. Like, I was just doing dodging training. Like, it was insane. Like, I don't even know what was happening. I managed to go all the way to the top and destroy some of the spawners and just loot whatever I could. And I just carried on doing the same process of stuffing stuff in this shulker box. Like, it was insane. And at this point, I had so many shulker boxes, I didn't even know what to do with them. Because you can't put shulker boxes inside shulker boxes. And I can't even pronounce how many times I've said shulker box. And then I kind of left the end city because there wasn't an elytra there. But there was like this other like weird place that was kind of like a mine shaft, but like in the end. And it just had a bunch of endermites, but I didn't really find any loot there. I then found like this other little place that had like TNT in the middle. And I found this ore, I think it's pronounced Trinundum. I don't know. It's something like that. But I looked it up. You can actually make sword and armor from it, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I didn't know those fruits made me instant transmission either, so that was cool. So yeah, I mined most of the ore, and at the time, I didn't know what this was. But afterwards, I read up on it, and it actually spawns a boss. So don't worry about what I did. I put it all back before you rip me in the comment section. So you put TNT under it, and you get, I think it's an end crystal or something, and you can actually activate the boss, and then you put a bunch of TNT underneath the TNT, and it like blows it up and kills it, and then you get something from it that you can make armor from, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's the gist of it. So I didn't do that in this 100 days, but I marked it down on my map so I know where it is. But then I found it, guys. You know what that means? There's a ship. The elytra was in this end city. I finally found it. It took me so long. Back into the training simulation of dodging everything I possibly could. And yeah, I tried to explore this place a little bit more, but I only had one goal in mind, and that was to actually get the elytra. So after going through all that, I found it. I got onto the ship. I managed to get there safe and sound. There was an end crystal there as well, which was really cool. So that could help me to do the boss as well. Or if I wanted to find 2 more, I could summon the Ender Dragon again. I went down the ship. I looked down. I destroyed the spawners. And long behold, sitting there on the pedestal, the elytra, baby. And the one cool thing about better Minecraft is you don't have to take your chest piece off. You can have this beautiful thing on your back. Look at me. Juiced up. Juice Lord. But then this happened. I'm going to let it play out. This tragic moment. I'm telling you now, I'm lucky I had armor on. That's all I'm going to say. Oh! Oh my. That could have killed me. Oh. I'm an idiot. And now there's only one thing left to do, and that's to fly it. I almost messed it up, but look at me go. Flying around in the end. Like an absolute juice lord. Tell you what, the elytras never get old. I love flying around in these things. You just... You feel like Buzz Lightyear, you know. It's a nice feeling. I went back home and I put all my little shulker boxes down, and about the 50s that I had, and all my little other brewing stands. Forgot the name there. And then just sorted out most of my junk. I then made that Cherundum sword that I was talking about. I probably absolutely butchered that name, but it is better than my diamond sword. So I just have to make sure I get like good enchantments on it. So I did one. It got knocked back 2. I then decided to enchant it because I was like, you know, I've got 46 enchants. I can easily get like, you know, I can easily make more. I got knocked back 2 and a smite 5. Not the best, but hey, it will do. And my dragon still didn't spawn. Alright? Guys, I'm doing something wrong, okay? I'm probably going to know after this video because I'm probably going to do an in-depth search on it because I've got like 3 other dragons that I need to put down next to this one. So, you guys tell me in the comments what I did wrong. I promise the next 100 days I'm going to have dragons and I'm going to have more than diamond armor. Alright? I wanted to take it quite slow because I was going to do another 100 days. But that was the end of the 100 days. I made it. I survived. Let's hope I can do 200 days Thank you for being on this journey. I hope I didn't annoy you if I was a noob Minecraft player. I'm trying my best. But if you do like what you see and you did enjoy this 100 days, slap that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.